In reverse phase chromatography, we know that the polar compounds gets elute very early, and that becomes one of the challenging tasks to retain the polar compound into the reverse phase chromatography. Now to handle the challenge, to overcome the challenge, one can use the ion pair reagent into the mobile phase. So in this video, I am going to walk you through what is meant by ion pair reagent and how the retention behavior of the polar compounds get changed in presence of ion pair reagents. So let us begin with the presentation now, and here we go. So let us assume that we are having the stationary phase like C8 or C18, which is most likely scenario in case of reverse phase chromatography. And you know that the stationary phase in reverse phase chromatography is hydrophobic in nature, non-polar in nature, like C8 or C18. Now what is the ion pair reagent and how it looks? So look at the slide and you will find that the ion pair reagent consists of two different ends. The one end of the ion pair reagent is consist of the hydrophobic end, and the another end of the ion pair reagent is the hydrophilic end. So this is how the ion pair reagent can look like. And now once you add the ion pair reagent into the mobile phase, for example, if you add an hexane sulfonic acid into the mobile phase, then what is going to happen? So this ion pair reagent has the hydrophobic end. If you look at this brown part of this ion pair reagent, you will find that it is hydrophobic because it consists of alkyl chain, and because of this hydrophobicity, and you know the rule like attracts like, as the stationary phase is also hydrophobic, and as the one end of ion pair reagent which is also hydrophobic, they gets attracted to each other, and because of this the ion pair reagent's hydrophobic end gets connected with the stationary phase, and with this you will find the hydrophilic end will also get now present onto the mobile phase, and this becomes what? This make the stationary phase from hydrophobic nature to the hydrophilic nature, because now it is no more C8 column. Now it is no more hydrophobic stationary phase. The hydrophobic stationary phase is now replaced with the hydrophilic end of the ion pair reagent, which is, you can look at here. And now once you have a protonated base, once you have a base molecule which is protonated at lower pH, then the base, that is B, will get converted into BH plus. That will convert into BH plus, and the moment it becomes BH plus, now this BH protonated base can get replaced with Na plus, and look at the next screen. So the sodium ion will get away from the sulfonate end of the ion pair reagent, and the BH plus will get connected to the sulfonic SO3 minus group, and because of that, look at here now, because of that, what is going to happen? This BH plus will get connected onto the stationary phase or onto the ion pair reagent, and indirectly onto the stationary phase. So because of this kind of interaction, the protonated base gets retained onto the so-called polar phase because of the presence of ion pair reagent. So in short, the ion pair reagents acts like the ion exchange chromatography. So the protonated acid, the protonated base will get connected, get retained onto the ion pair reagent because of the exchange of the counter ion. And here the counter ion is what? Na plus, the sodium ion. So the sodium ion goes out and the protonated base comes in onto the stationary phase, and because of that the retention gets happen. Now let us understand what are the primary requirements to get the retention of the polar compounds onto the reverse phase chromatography with the help of ion pair reagent. So this is the number one requirement. The compound must be into ionic form. Point number two is, for basic compounds we need negatively charged ion pair reagent, such as having the functional groups ends with the sulfonate SO3 minus, which is counterbalanced by Na plus, and you know that the Na plus can get replaced by the protonated base, that is BH plus. And similarly for acidic compounds you need to have a positively charged ion pair reagents like tetrabutyl ammonium. Now retention is proportional to the degree of ionization. So the more is the ionized compound, the more will compound get retained in presence of ion pair reagent. The next point is retention is proportional to reagent uptake, that is saturation. The retention of the compound will be proportionate to the uptake of the reagent onto the stationary phase. So the more is the column get occupied by the ion pair reagent, more will be the replacement, or more will be the interaction of the ionic compound with the stationary phase. And as there is a more amount of interaction, there will be longer retention. The next point is retention may decrease if reagent concentration is beyond saturation due to competition between counter ion, that is Na plus, with the BH plus. So if you oversaturate the column with the ion pair reagent, you may found the reduction into the retention time, because now there are many sodium ions available into the mobile phase onto the column, and probably the sodium ions can compete with BH plus, and because of that you may found the decrease into the retention. So understand what is the saturation of the ion pair reagent and decide the same concentration. The next point is, for basic compounds maximum retention occurs at low pH, because we know that the compound must be into ionic form, and for basic compound will be fully ionized into the acidic pH. Similarly for acidic compounds, the maximum retention will happen into the higher pH, because they will be in full ionized form at the higher pH. Now let us understand few of the common examples of the ion pair reagent in case of basic compounds. The alkyl sulfonates like hexane sulfonate, heptane sulfonate are widely used as the ion pair reagent. The alkyl sulfates like sodium lauryl sulfate can also be used for sometimes to retain the acidic compound, basic compound, and the perchlorates like sodium perchlorate can also be used as ion pair reagent in case of basic compounds. And for acidic compounds like tetrabutyl ammonium salt, tetraethyl ammonium salt, cetyl trimethyl ammonium, they can be used as an ion pair reagent in case of acidic compounds. And for the peptides and proteins, you can use TFA or the HFBA, which is heptafluorobutyrate. So these are the few examples, the common ion pair reagents used during the chromatography method development. So I hope you must have understand now how the retention on the ion pair reagent gets happened, and how one can retain the polar compounds even by using reverse phase chromatography, just by adding ion pair reagent into the mobile phase. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will meet you soon in another video. Bye bye.